Alright everyone, welcome to another Toostupidgamerz video. I'm Mash the Stampede, and we got another unboxing for you today. This time it's just me, but I have acquired, finally, a direct drive wheel. After using my old wheel for probably the last 5 or so years. That would be the Thrustmaster T150. I finally got an upgrade on a new wheel. Really, this decision just came from the fact that when I first got to try a direct drive wheel, going back to the one that I had before, it just didn't feel the same to me. I felt like I really needed that extra level of feedback. Now, we're gonna get into the unboxing in just a moment, but again, I want to remind everyone to make sure to hit that subscribe button, make sure to leave a comment what you think, let us know what your racing simulator is like if you have one at home. Anyway, away we go. Yeah, so we definitely don't want this video to take too long. I have no idea what's going to be inside this thing. I'm sure, going to be a lot of components, so we want to just get to it. It is also a very large box. This thing probably weighs, I would estimate, maybe like 25, maybe 30 pounds. This is like a serious piece of race sim equipment. This is probably like the most serious race sim equipment I have. But of course, let's show off the product itself. So this is the Gran Turismo DD Extreme Fanatec direct drive wheel. This is a PlayStation compatible direct drive wheel. It's a bundle, so you get the wheel plus the wheel base. Yeah, let's bring it on out. As I said, this is quite a big box. You're not really going to be able to see it here, so I'm going to just pull up the dual cam. We got the unboxing cam. So yeah, this is it. This is the Gran Turismo DD Extreme. What really drew me to this wheel was I was looking for something that would be PlayStation compatible. Even though I don't really feel like I play Gran Turismo as much as I used to, I don't really feel like I use as much PS4 racing. I didn't want to buy a race wheel that would lock me in to just the PC platform, because I feel like for the price point you would want to have more options available to you, and there was a lot of different like possibilities. I was doing a lot of research into this, like which one would be the one to get. I decided with Fanatec because although they've had some shipping issues in the past, I think they're probably one of the higher pedigree race wheels, although there are some really good competitors as well. But I went with Fanatec just because of the name symbolizes quality. Fanatec is known for good stuff, and also again, they had a good option for wheelbase and also console compatibility, in addition to obviously being PC compatible. So I decided on this one. This is the first time I have a direct drive wheel, so this is kind of a big deal in terms of race sim. If people watching don't really know what that means, it's a totally different system. It's able to give you a new level of force feedback that you just don't get with the older stuff. But anyway, like I said, we're gonna just get into this unboxing. Oh yeah, I gotta stand up for this one because it barely fits in the second cam shot, so let me just do that. Sorry, it's gonna be hard for me to talk and open. I'm gonna go ahead and speak up a little bit, and I'm gonna do myself a favor and put this actually further on the couch, just so we can fit the whole shot. Yeah, that's the best we could do. Okay, so first off, we have the manual, of course, quick guide, setting up, components, pieces, tells you where everything is, tells you how to turn on the wheel. So we'll put that to the side. We don't need that right now. Let's go ahead and get the first piece of foam out of the way. And right out the box, right out the gate, we do have the wheel itself. Try to get that for the second cam. But yeah, unboxing. We got the wheel itself. We'll put that for a little sleek reveal later. This is oh my god. This is like the biggest piece of foam I've ever seen in my life that I own. That's crazy. So we have one box of goods. I have another box of goods. And we have the main component. This is probably what weighs the most out of this whole box. I'm gonna try to take it out as best as I can because it doesn't want to give. Oh man, yeah, that is heavy. Woo! This is a cinder block. Oh my god, okay. I'm gonna gently put it on the table lest I break it. Okay, there's nothing else in the box, so I'm about to set up, but I just want to show everyone. This is how indented this has become from the wheelbase sitting in there. You could just see the lines from the wheelbase like in the foam. Maybe they put that in that way, but something tells me that this just kind of became like this over time. Because let me tell you, this thing is heavy. Anyway, I'm gonna clean all of this up so I can get back on camera, get the shot all nice again. This wheelbase is so heavy. I cannot understate how heavy this is. Yeah, so first we'll start nice and simple. We'll go ahead with opening up these boxes just to see what kind of hardware we're getting. I'll read a little bit of the manual real quick for you guys and just kind of discuss what I'm finding. And yeah, now that everything is nice and laid out, we can go ahead and utilize the second shot a little bit more. I was not expecting that, although I should have imagined just by how big this box is. So we'll get to the big two pieces last. I'm gonna start with this box. It feels a little bit lighter. My guess is the other one is the power supply. Use our trusty cobalt, which we need to make sure we do on all of our regular unboxings. Sometimes we forget. There'll be some other videos that come out. You guys will see later what I'm talking about. So let's see. We got some serious hardware. Looks like a cable. Very nice USB, very thick USB cable, USB-C. And we have some, kind of looks like mounting points. Not really sure what this is. I'll take a look at the manual for full info on that. But with a lot of these race sim equipments, you might need something specific to be able to mount your item to the race seat. Let's take a look at hardware. Box number 2. I can hardly contain myself to finally get this thing all set up and going. The wheel just looks so cool, and I can't wait to hold it in my hand. We have kind of like what I thought. If anyone is a fan of the 360, you may get some fond memories back to the power supply from that. But this is a giant monster brick of a power supply. So I guess we will be connecting this to connecting this to the direct drive wheel, and then this over here. This looks like it's what is it? The input is 100 to 240 volts by 50/60 hertz, 5.4 amp max, and a 24 volt output. This is a monster. I would say that I could see why direct drive is such a big deal if this is the amount of power you're going to need for it. So that's insane. But yeah, so that's just kind of the basic hardware. I'm glad to see that it's not too much. Yeah, just got a couple power cables. I'm going to read through. Oh, looks like we got some stickers. Very basic. But yeah, this is the direct drive wheel extreme quick guide. It's going to tell me everything that I need to know. Power supply. So we're gonna read along together with this. So you get the wheel base, one part of the power supply with the brick, power supply with the cable, USB-C, and this last piece, which was those little metal bits. It's called a T-nut. You get 4 of them. I don't know what that means. I guess we'll find out later. They're advising you, definitely this thing gets hot, so do not keep the wheelbase surrounded with anything. You definitely want to make sure to give it plenty of air, plenty of room to breathe. This is a powerhouse. Okay, so yeah, I think I was right. The 4 T-nuts that you get, in order to help you get it on the base, they're giving you like different points that you could affix it to. They don't provide the screws. you got to get them yourself. So that's kind of annoying. But I mean, there's no other hardware, so I don't think there's any screws included as far as I can tell. They're showing you how to attach the wheel to the wheel base. A lot of time with really all race wheels, even for actual race cars, you kind of have a locking mechanism to affix the wheel to whatever it locks into. In this case, it's the wheelbase, but obviously in a car it's a little bit different. Let it go. The locking mechanism will keep the wheel secure so it doesn't slip out, fall, and then if you want to, disengage the wheel, you just unlock it, pull out the wheel, and you're good to go. So they're kind of explaining that. With these wheels, there's a different... Fanatec has like a different system that actually affects the force feedback for the connection point between the wheel and the wheel base. I know this one is compatible with like the highest tier of the connection point. I'll put it in post what it's called here because I don't remember off the top of my head. But that connection point, I think it's in this wheel, the highest connection point. I'm not 100% sure, but that's also something that you want to be mindful of, because when you go and buy this wheel, that connection point, which one you specifically choose, can add an extra like $100 to $150 to your purchase. So that's definitely something you want to consider. But you also want the best connection, because that's going to give you the full feedback that you want from this kind of powerful little base. Give me different modes. Okay. Very straightforward. There's not a lot that we have to worry about here. And now it's time for the real part of this unboxing, the part that everyone is here for. We're gonna start with the wheel base, and then we'll go to the wheel. I feel like the wheel has a lot more bells and whistles. The base is really just a box, a very heavy box, I might add. I'm gonna do myself a favor and protect my hardware and my table, and put the foam down so that I can go ahead and put this down easily without any worries. So this is the back side of the direct drive. Oh man, look at that. This is one legit piece of hardware. I can already tell just by looking at it. Again, it's really heavy. Oh man, it's really, really heavy. But what do we have? On the front, you got the nice Fanatec logo. You got all the different inputs. So this is kind of what is gonna... This is something that I'm gonna have to look into a little bit further, because my wheel and my shifter are both Thrustmaster, but they can plug in through USB. So hopefully I'll be able to use all of this together, and I'll have to buy another set of wheels too. But yeah, if you have a Fanatec shifter with this kind of input, you can plug in your shifter 2 pedal and handbrake all in the front. There's a USB right here to plug it into the computer, and then I guess on the side here, yep, this is for your power supply. Again, this thing is so heavy. If we look at the back real quick, this is the connection point for the steering wheel. So again, just kind of depending on which version you got, you might have better or slightly less feedback as a result of what input you have on the steering wheel itself. Now this version that I got is 12 nm at the very top end. I feel like that's going to be enough, because everywhere I read online, most people say that would be a correct amount, in addition to the fact that around 12, people will typically like bump it down. So they'll end up maybe using like 8 or 9. So I think 12 is probably the sweet spot. There was a 12 NM version and a 15 as well. But of course that would cost extra. I know that the 15 version, the more expensive version of this wheelbase, has a little bit more bells and whistles to it too. So there's a couple of extra features with it. But still, I mean, for the purposes of what I need as a direct drive wheel, as long as this fits into my ecosystem of racing sim, I think this is going to be just about peak for me. I don't think I'm going to need any other wheel after this. At least I hope so. Now, I will say one thing about the design. It's kind of interesting, and it's probably done for air to be able to pass, but you can actually kind of see in the outer edges of the circle the internals of this direct drive wheel, which is kind of weird. It almost feels like that's not good design, but again, that's probably just done because of that's probably just done to do heat management, to make sure to keep it as cool as possible. My only worry is that if dust gets in there, you know, I have a dusty room. Everybody has a dusty room. If you have any kind of tech, like, the battle is always going to be dust, making sure it doesn't get inside, cause damage, with cameras, cause like blurry picture output or anything like that. So hopefully won't be any issues with this. But yeah, that's the wheelbase. Heavy as it is, we're gonna slide it over to the side. It does not want to be carried. It wants to be slid to the side because of how heavy it is. So let's get to the last piece. Oh, we still have a little bit of time here left, and this is going to be the wheel itself. There were so many different options for wheel that you could get with the Fanatec. I settled on this one because it came with the bundle. It does look like it has a lot of good features, and it has kind of what I'm looking for in a wheel. I think eventually, over time, another thing I can get now that I have the base already, and I already have a wheel that is like the circular kind that works for me, I would like to get an open wheel race wheel. The ones where it's more of like a flat rectangle. I'll show you guys in post what I'm talking about. I think that would be good if I'm switching around a lot between different categories of racing sim, but for the time being, this will absolutely do. I'm not looking to buy any other race wheel stuff at this time. So once again, we're starting from the back. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. This is honestly about the size of like the wheel in my car, maybe a little bit smaller, so that's kind of cool too. It's definitely, I would say it's definitely a little bit bigger than the T150, but yeah, you have a lot of different options. I will show you guys off the front as well, so you could see you have just like with a PlayStation console, you have the different analog sticks. You have like 5 of them here, 1, 2, 3, and then 2 on the other side. You have your R2, your L3, R3, your PlayStation home button, share options, and of course on this side you have the face buttons as well. So you have tons of different options on the front. What's also really cool is that you have a LED screen. So that screen is gonna supposedly be giving information from the race sim. I think it depends on the compatibility with the race sim game that you're using, but I'm sure that, you know, this being Fanatec, this already being a wheel that's been out for a little while, I'm sure a lot of them already work with this wheel, but it is kind of cool to be able to see your telemetry up here already, instead of having to look inside of the game. Also, I like that they add the wheel neutral position marker at the top. Before I did that on my old wheel with a piece of tape. But yeah, these buttons feel okay. I've heard people give complaints that, you know, for the money that you're paying, they are a little bit, they're not the best. They definitely make like a hard plastic click sound. I would like to see how they hold up over time. You get some kind of little button there too. Yeah, I would like to see how they hold up over time. But they definitely look okay. There's some LED lights here as well. I believe that you can backlight some of these analog sticks. So, you know, I'm looking forward to actually seeing what this is like when it's being used. But for now, this is what we got. And this was something I also kind of heard complaints about. People didn't like the clickiness of the paddle shifters. They sound okay to me. I mean, they definitely sound higher quality than the ones I have. They feel nice and firm when you click them. Like when you click them, that's a paddle shift input, without a doubt. Now, what my old wheel didn't have was like a split-off paddle shift. I think this is called like a clutch paddle or something like that. I'm not 100% sure what this is used for, but this gives you more of a gradient. It's not just click. It's not click on, click off. It's like a gradient. So get a little closer to kind of show you guys what I'm talking about. So the regular paddle shifter is click on, off, and then the clutch paddle is more of a gradient, so it's kind of like like max maybe 50%, 0, 50 max is 50 0. I think that's pretty cool. I don't know how much I'll be using that for. It feels nice in your hand though, and there's still plenty of space that if you're playing something that doesn't use paddle shifters, it doesn't look like you're gonna bump into it. So yeah, the front is pretty cool. As I said, with the back you have a locking mechanism, so pull that back. That's how you're gonna be able to get the wheel onto the wheel base, and then also unlock it so that you can take it off once you're done. I really like that these direct drive wheelbases they have detachable wheels, so sometimes you'll see people that have been doing this for years and they have a whole collection of race wheels. I'm sure at some point I'll join them, but obviously that's like really expensive. But it is just cool to be able to mix and match for whatever your race sim needs are, a different type of wheel. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked about that. Now, I was worried that I wouldn't be able to put the wheel flat down without having some kind of problem because of all the buttons, but you totally can. So you could just put it flat down, no issues there. Okay, and I'm gonna try one more thing here. Let's see what this looks like when it's actually put in. I'm gonna slide the Titanic over closer to me where this is gonna be more accessible. I'm just gonna point this out. I've never done this before, so I'm just gonna try to do it as best as I can, and hopefully I don't mess it up. So pull towards yourself. Let go. Is it? No, it's not. Maybe sideways, the other way. Sideways. There we go. And okay, that feels like it. I didn't hear a click or anything, but that feels like it's just about good. Wow, that's awesome. And because this is a direct drive wheel, you could spin it infinitely as well. So that's really something I'm gonna have to adjust to as well, because that's not how my other wheel works. But this is the full wheelbase with the wheel attached. Let me just turn it over so you can kind of see it. There it is. I'm gonna try to find as well, while I have you guys on this here video, see where the connection points are. I think the way that it works with Fanatec is, let's get a little example here. With their direct drive wheels, at least, I think what you have to do is, you could see that there's somewhat of a very specific geometry going on with these. You have to slide them in like this until they click. And once they click, I guess they're secure, and you'll just screw them in. Like I said, I don't like that they didn't give you screws for this. I guess they kind of expect that most people already have them. I think that's a bit of an odd choice, especially how much these direct drive wheels cost. They definitely should have included some heavy-duty screws. Also, sometimes when I'm buying screws third-party, I'm worried that they're not going to be like up to code for what this is. This is a really heavy piece of equipment. I want to make sure that this thing doesn't fall. In fact, I'm even a little bit worried that it might just be too heavy for my rig. I'm sure it's not, but just given how I can barely hold this thing, you know, I want to make sure that it's not going to fall off my rig. So would have been really nice if Fanatec included some screws with this. Not happy with that, but I'll have to just go find some screws and make sure that this thing is nice and secured. Guys, I cannot wait to use this race sim wheel. Again, this is my first direct drive wheel. I've never had anything like this before. I did get to try it when we went to PAX. I did get to try direct drive when we went to PAX East this year. I got to try the Logitech direct drive wheel, which is around in this price point. Just kind of feeling the weightiness behind, feeling that added force feedback. I really wanted to get this upgrade. I really wanted to get additional force feedback to increase the immersion, and I don't know, maybe this would potentially also increase skill as a race sim driver as well. But yeah, I can't wait to get into this. Might be a little bit of time before I can set this up, just because, again, gotta find the screws. Everything has to kind of fit into the ecosystem, so I didn't get a chance to affix this to my rig just yet. I didn't get a chance to, mess around with this plus my wheel plus my already existing shifter. So it might take a little while for me to get this and also do some fine tuning. These wheels come with software that you have to manually go into your computer and adjust feedback levels and all sorts of different parameters. So it may take a little bit of time before I'm really up and running with this, but I'm gonna start as soon as I can. Just gonna get this video out to you guys to make sure that you guys can all see, hey, Mash got the upgrade. So also, I'll be sure to do like a 6 months video from now on, just to kind of give you my perspective. You know, this kind of major race sim upgrade, I don't want to just like sit on it and use the thing and not really give you guys my thoughts. So I'll definitely let you know in about 6 months or so, like come back to this and say, hey, this was the process of like setting it up, this was the process that adjusting to the differences with this, and here's been my experiences so far. I want to let you guys know how this thing works for me. So stick around for that. Stick around for some additional race sim content. We're gonna do some cool iRacing stuff, maybe some other racing sim games as well, and we'll try to get those featured on the channel. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let us know in the comments, what do you think about this? Have you gotten a chance to test this? Do you own this particular direct drive wheel? Do you have a different one? Do you have any preferences? Let us know in the comments below. We're always happy to hear your opinions. And yeah, we'll be sure to bring plenty of more race sim and other great content to you. So stick around. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video.